Let me get all set up here. Oops, I made a mistake when making the title. Hang on, gotta fix that. Okay. I made a slight boo-boo when I was making the title, but I fixed it, no worries. Oops. This has to be so complicated. Stop doing that. Alright, all set. So, let me take a brief moment to let you guys know what this is going to be about. The Wookiee'S Super Saturday Special was a name that a lot of my community came up with. Dynamite Dom. For crying out loud. Not you guys, it's my nose. It's like anytime I'm trying to speak, my nose is like, hi. My Dynamite Dom, Katana Gaming, Dara helped come up with the name. Thank you guys so much. Basically, hang on, I'll give it to it in a sec. Hey, Otaku, how you doing, bud? Thank you for the like, bud. I appreciate it. I really hate being sick, but I'm getting better. Every day, I'm getting better. So essentially what this special is going to be is going to be a recurring special every weekend or every Saturday, which we are going to be switching out, rotating video games every Saturday. So today we're going to be playing Destiny. To next Saturday we'll be playing something else, and we'll be doing that every weekend or every Saturday. Sorry. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be probably pausing my mic off and on because I don't want you guys hearing me blowing my nose. Ugh. So what we're going to be doing for the next few hours, since I don't have any of the DLCs associated with on the PlayStation, we're not going to be doing anything story content until we can get streaming on the Xbox again, which I don't know when that's going to happen. So we're mainly going to be doing strikes, Gambit, but before I do, this is especially for my buddy Dom, who's looking to figure out how this game works. So I'm going to be doing a small tutorial on each character and how they work and what their functions are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into private match. Oh, no, not control. I want private match. Sorry. Elimination, survival, lockdown, rumble. There we go, private match. We're probably going to go, not control. I'm just going to put it in rumble. Doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be playing against anybody right now. Though the first class we're going to be going through is going to be the Hunter, which does have 3 classes. Now, the one thing about Destiny is it's really going to reflect... Just making sure my mic's on. It's really going to reflect on your playstyle. Now, I happen to like having all 3 characters because you never... In this game, I never want to feel short. Like, let's say I'm doing a raid and someone's like, hey, we need a Titan. Like, okay, no problem. I'll grab mine. But is it necessary that you need to have all 3 characters? No, it's not.
Rumble.
So, essentially, hunters are supposed to be the quicker characters. You know what? Actually, to make this go by better, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put this on Mayhem so I can show you guys the supers as well. But for me, hunters are kind of like my everything. I am so used to playing hunters. It is momentum, Mayhem Clash. You know, since Mayhem Clash is only one we have, time limit 30 minutes. Score, we don't really care because I'm not going to be in there with anybody. And we're going to go with 3 seconds for the supercharge rate so I can show you guys the supers. We're not going to really need to mess with that. Map. After Flame. Let's find a really cool map to do this on. You know what? We're gonna do eternity. Maybe. Hang on. I want to see what other we got. Ooh, I like that. Wait. I might pick that. Alright. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. I drank a little bit too much hot chocolate today. Alright. I'm back. We're going to go ahead and launch. So I will be doing this for each and every single character, so you guys can get a sense of which class might be better suited for you to start with. But no, hunters were traditionally, as the name stated, hunters. They were trackers. They would go out into the wilds, to give you guys a little bit of backstory, and they would be guys who would be fighting the frontiers. Oh, by the way, this is Trials on the 9 kind of map, but I don't think they do Trials on the 9 anymore.
Mayhem. You signed the waiver. Now explode each other.
Alright, so the first ability I'm going to show you is called Blade Barrage. Now, Blade Barrage, I would say, was initially the most OP thing you could have. It's still pretty OP. Because if you use it correctly, now you can take more damage. Now you do take damage from it now, or you can actually die if you use it in close proximity to yourself. Now, basically what Blade Barrage does is it sets out a barrage, as the name states, a barrage of two barrages of blades. Now, you don't really even need to aim it. Like, you just jump in, boom, boom, and you're gonna get a kills. Like, if you're playing this with PvP, it's like probably the best PvP super you can have if you're a hunter. Now, there are other subclasses for this particular. This is technically called the solar class, or the gunslinger class. Now, you get what you're initially going to be starting out with is this gunslinger, which is this. which is for crying out loud. Hang. Now, with this one actually comes with a little bit of a trick. I don't think I have it on right now, but if you use a certain helmet called Celestial Nighthawk, which I'm not going to use right now because I have a lot of shards. I don't want to use them up. Which will take Golden Gun into a single powerful shot, one shot. And it's very useful because you can get a, like if you're going up against like raid bosses and stuff like that, it's very useful when you do a precision shot because you can do somewhere around 333,000 or million damage. It's a lot. But you basically get a Golden Gun to move around, to play around with. Basically works the same way as the last word. Now, the next one is still going to be, you don't really change in class, at least in my humble opinion. When you switch to this class, you still basically use the sword, this. But you can notice how the first one you have, whereas this one, sorry guys, give me a second. Whereas this one, you only get like 3 consecutive shots because they're a little bit more powerful. So that's just solar class for you. Next class we're going to talk about is probably one I started out with, which was Arc Strider. Now, Arc Strider is actually pretty cool. So I think I'll start with actually the first ability you actually get in here, first class. Because this class I don't think you got until much later. The Whirlwind Guard, we didn't get that before. This actually just gets you to a different kind of status. Like kill an enemy with melee ability to trigger health regeneration, increase your melee damage temporarily, stacks up ×3. But every single one you get will still do the same thing. This is probably the best, one of the reasons why people use this the most is the dodge. It's very easy to close the distance and get a kill. Now, the next class, like I said, most of it are the stuff that you want to use just to figure out. So if you get melee kills, like I can't demonstrate because I'm not in a traditional thing. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still coming over. Just trying to get over this cold. Now, you do have this one. Enemy strikes with the melee weapon distorts the target for at nearby enemies. It's kind of like a smoke screen, I think. Again, really no big change. Oh, I forgot about that ability. So this one gives you kind of like an empowered. kind of a strike. Which, if you use that one, you're going to use up your super ability a lot faster. Now, here's the newest one, the newest class they brought in. Blue Crazy. Thanks, Blue Crazy. I really appreciate it, bud. Thank you. So, very similar to the last one. You get this, but you basically create a shield around yourself. And then you can go close the distance on the enemy if you don't want to take damage. So that's pretty much Arc Strider for you. Night Stalker, traditionally, we'll get into that class in a minute. It was this, for most part. Now this one is just more so, you want to focus on grenades and vanish on your dodge. This is the ones where I think you can actually get smoke screen. There's your dodge ability. You can go invisible for a short period of time, but it's sometimes useful and sometimes not, at least in my experience. Now, when you're using, there's also another exotic you can use. Well, exotic for all classes, really. Let me go through that real quick. All these exotics you can get very early on in the game. For Blade Barrage, you want to use these, which is called the Shards of the Galantor, I think it's called. Which will give you your super energy back per Blade Barrage that kills somebody. This one vanishes after Spectral Blade kills and more super energy. So that's one perfect. Which one is good for your Spectral Energy, Spectral Blade, which we'll go into another one. These are. Huh. So no, that's not. Or here we go, Orpheus Rig, which gives you actually more. Provides the ability energy for each enemy tethered by Dreadfall anchors. So basically, it gives you more more shots per tether. So let's go ahead and show you guys what you get. You only get one shot with this one. Now, the next one, I think actually the next one I'm going to show you guys actually lets you use multiple. Yeah. So I think this one gives you Blood Bond. Dreadfall, yeah. Here we go. Dreadfall. This one gives you the Quiver, which gives you more than one tether. Looks a lot better when you're actually up high, because you actually can pretty much stay in the air like this. That's pretty much what multi-quiver is. You can shoot multiple tethers, multiple arrows. Now, the next ability is Spectral Blade, which I'm going to show you guys right now. So Spectral Blade works very similar to that of Blade Dance. What was it that was just using? Arc Strider. It works very similar to Arc Strider. those of you guys who are played probably Destiny 1, it's also very similar to another one called Arcblade. Although I think Arcblade you only get one blade. So here's what Spectral Blade basically is. You become invisible until you're ready to strike. And then you can go back invisible. Strike again, go invisible. Strike again. And that's basically it. And that's all the supers for the hunter. Now, I will say this. The hunters are traditionally a little bit weaker in terms of armor. And traditionally, hunters are supposed to be better with hand cannons and sniper rifles. But, you know, that's not really all that you really need to be focusing on when you're choosing your character. Because any character can be used for that. You know, you can trade out multiple guns and use them in multiple characters. It's not hard. Does not affect anything. So if you're looking at YouTube videos like who's better, well, this person's better with a sniper, this character is better with sniper rifles, this character's, don't pay attention to that, because you're gonna. Another thing you gotta pay attention to when you're playing this game is you gotta look at your armor. Like, I traditionally just don't really care about armor because I kind of like the way I look. I really don't like changing my armor. But if you look at some of the stats, like I have Survivalist Hunter armor, Revan's Curse, submachine gun targeting. There's armors that will help you enhance your character's abilities with certain weapons. And that's something I want to talk about. So armor. For a while, you're not going to make your character look like anything you're going to want to look like. Your character's going to look downright ugly until you get an armor set you're going to want and can actually infuse it. I'll get to that in a minute. So if you look right here, here's power level. So once you get your character to maximum level, which I think ends a total of, I think 30 or 50, and your power level caps out. But that doesn't mean you stop leveling up. When you start leveling up, your character will get higher levels. Like you see right here, it says defense 900, which adds to your power level, which will bring it up to, let's say your power level starts off at 400, and you equip an armor that has 405. Well, that's going to add to your power level. So it's very important that you find some armor that does give you more defense, more. So the big numbers, the higher the number, the better it is for you. And as I said, it's going to be a while before you can actually make your character look how you want. For a while, it's going to be you just equipping whatever armor is going to be the next big level. Another thing you want to look at is weapons. Now, if you look at, like, I'm using an exotic, which is always marked as yellow. You can only equip one exotic per tree. So if you want to have exotic, I don't think I have one on. Oh yeah. So I can only equip one Stompies for my armor and one exotic weapon. You cannot like completely saturate your character with exotics, because at that point the character would be broken. Now, how do you get these exotics? Like, for instance, the Lumina is a quest, which is a semi-long quest to get. Some of them are random drops, like the Arbalist is a random drop now. Sometimes Zer will sell it. He will sometimes sell armors and weapons that you currently do not have, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Like, for instance, Jotun is not a quest per se. You have to do forges and a certain Forge, which will give you that exotic. This exotic. But it's not going to always give you that one. And sometimes it will give you this one. Hey, Panda King, 121, 112, 15. How's it going? What's your favorite campaign? Considering how on my Xbox I have completed every single campaign, that is a hard question. Whew. Let me think about that one. That is a good question. Because I haven't finished the campaign for the Moon yet, the new DLC yet. I would have to say, the Anna Bray DLC was probably my favorite. Even though I liked Osiris's voice actor, I didn't much like constantly having to go through all the portals, and I don't know, maybe it's just a personal fault of mine. I just didn't like that particular campaign. If that makes any sense. But the new DLC that Shadowkeep, just from what I've played, actually looks pretty interesting. So that might end up becoming my new favorite. Now, here's another nice little tip for you guys. Ghost shells do not matter. What's my favorite gun? The last word. That's a hands down. That's a no-brainer. The last word's my favorite gun. The last word and I have been companions since my very first Destiny game. So yeah, that last word is my favorite gun. Favorite season. I would say Season of the Drifter would be my favorite season. Even though, sadly, right around the time mid season of the Drifter, I kind of set things. I stopped playing because I overdid Gambit to get my title. So yeah, I was saying ghost shells really don't add anything to your character other than aesthetics. Now there are some buffs, some abilities that the ghost shell will have, which if you want to preview them, like if you use secret shell, she will give you increase glimmer and a chance to obtain additional faction consumables on Mercury. I thought she tracked chests. I might be wrong about that. Each ghost comes with a different ability. Some of them can track chests or materials on Mercury. Or not just Mercury, but oh yeah, detects caches and resources within 75 meter range of Mercury. So that's something you might want to make saving your ghost for. When you're definitely farming for materials and chests to get glimmer. Now here's the one thing you wanted a nice little tip for you guys. If you get a quest that says collect resources, now chests are naturally going to give you resources, but that does not count. You actually have to find the resource and collect it. You do not get count. It does not count if you find it in a chest. You have to find the resource. Heavy weapons, it's pretty much depending on the situation. I personally always go in with Hammerhead because it does a lot of damage and it's a pretty good weapon to go with when most situations. Like if you're playing Crucible, it's a very good weapon to go with. If you're playing Like I've played this, I used this in I think once in a raid. It's a very good weapon to use. Now another one that's really good for boss damage would be Super Simulant. This is probably going to be the #1 requested gun you see a lot on LFG. Is you must have Super Simulant. This is only available on a quest, so you have to do the quest to get Super Simulant. But if you don't have Super Stimulant, a nice rocket launcher, Hammerhead is pretty easy to get. But you just have to do forges. This was a random drop, so I'm not even going to say anything about it. This was a random drop. You get this from Zur or a random drop. Same thing with Thunderlord. Well, I think I got mine from a quest or just for signing in, I think. I don't remember if I actually had to do a quest for Thunderlord. What's my favorite vendor? I don't know if I actually have one. Because the only reason I ever go to... I guess I would say Zur. Because I don't really like going to the Eververse. I don't like the Cryptarch because I want to punch him in the face every time I see him. Banshee 44, I would say Banshee 44 because I kind of like his personality. Holiday really doesn't really do anything anymore. Like you used to be, like in Destiny 1, able to get different legendary sparrows, not just green ones. But this one, you just get green. So she kind of finds herself a little bit irrelevant. The only thing I think you get from her is starts the quest for the chaperone. Now, another thing gets me wondering is behind me as you see my sparrow. So I'm going to explain that to you guys as well. Sparrows are just basically, when you get them, they're pretty much, again, just cosmetic. You can use them to travel around, run around, get places faster, but they are purely cosmetic. Like this sparrow I got, Burnout, I got it randomly when I was just turning in bright engrams. Same thing with this one, Impact Velocity, random drop. This one actually is acquirable through once you complete the Ace of Spades campaign. Emblems are, some of them are quest driven, some of them are ones you get from doing certain things in the game. Like this one, you have to get. I think you get this one randomly. Once you do a bunch of Gambit, it'll track your infamy ranks. This one, I think you get randomly. I don't remember how I got all my emblems. Some of them are random. Some of them you get from doing certain events or certain parts in the story. Finishers are relatively new. So once an enemy gets low enough, you basically can do that. Emotes are also randomized. They're just funny little things you can do. What's your saddest Destiny moment? When Cade died. Because Cade was probably the best freaking thing in on this game, and they killed him off. Because I don't like Zavala, I don't like Ikora. Cade was everyone's favorite, and they got rid of him. Again, all the emotes are, well, you can dish out money to get emotes and stuff like that, but I really haven't done that. I've all the emotes and stuff like that you see before you are just random stuff that I've gotten. Like this one right here, the ding. Random. I did nothing. I have done nothing for it. What else? So before I switch characters, I thought it'd be nice to show you guys. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Pushed the wrong button. I apologize. You guys are probably going to see a little bit of a thing in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right. So here's the store. They actually had to go to Eververse to get to this store, but now they have it just on the menu. This is all microtransactions. Now you can get Bright Dust in the game for breaking down shaders, ships, even ghost shells, stuff like that. You can get them there, or you can get them through quests. So if you really don't want to spend money, I'd recommend just save up your Bright Dust and get the stuff you want. But that's basically what Eververse is. It's just a bunch of microtransactions. Now here's the more agreed. Okay, so here's the campaigns that I haven't finished. Forsaken, Warmind. Now the thing is, it says I own them, but it doesn't say I own these two, which I'm not gonna go pay for them. Sorry, I already have them on my Xbox, and no. Now, this is how you make progression in this game, apparently. So anytime you level up, this is what you're gonna get. So my next level is 10. I'm gonna get, or sorry, 9. I'm gonna get Glimmer. Now, these are the upgrade modules which you're gonna need to upgrade your weapons. So let's go over my weapons for a minute, so I can show you. So here's my last word. You're going to see this little thing right here. It's going to say infuse. You scroll down and it's going to say upgrade module, upgrade module, upgrade module, upgrade module.
Time to prove yourself.
But I'm not actually going to break down any of these weapons to do anything. Now sometimes it's going to ask you for some material as well as the module. But look, I don't think I've seen that in a while. So it looks like basically just upgrade modules, and they've kind of simplified it.
Fight on.
And you're gonna need that for just your weapons and your armor. But sadly, there are ways of getting upgrade modules. You can go to Banshee 44. You can do gun up, level up one of his bounties by doing specific weapons or challenges. And if you do those bounties, I think you get 4 of them a day or a week. So you can pretty much max out by getting about 4 of them. And I think my match is over. It's fine. And then you'll get more if you progress and you happen to be there. So, thoughts on Destiny 3? I don't know a whole lot about Destiny 3. Just some of the things I've heard down the pipeline is that it's supposed to be more PvP based, which I don't like because I'm not a big huge PvP player. Like I play PvP, sure. I'm not the best at it. I'm not professional. I don't want to be a professional. I think the biggest thing that what's made Destiny popular is the freedom for players. Like, hey, you want to play PvP? Sure, go for it. Hey, you want to play the story? Here you go. As far as story goes, I don't know where they're going to be taking it. I mean, I thought Shadowkeep was supposed to be where we get the Dark Guardians, but that doesn't seem like to be the case. If you can make your own raid, what kind of raid would you publish? Ooh, that's a hard question to answer. Because I always wanted to fight an Armakara, and you get to fight an Armakara. That's a hard question to answer. Because there's not a whole lot of creatures left in the world that we could actually fight. Um, maybe like some kind of, I don't know, maybe maybe like the final raid boss was Dredgen Yor, since we know that Dredgen didn't die per se, that he's still somehow alive based on the lore. That would be an okay. I don't know. I don't know if that would be a appropriate raid boss, because it basically would be turned into a PvP fight. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like create a whole new enemy for the story, and then put like a single big bad enemy, like I don't know, maybe the Queen from Aliens as the final raid boss. I don't know. As far as Destiny 3 goes, I don't know. As far as a raid goes, I don't know. Because they already kind of made the raid that I was already thought about, because I was like, oh, this would be cool to fight a dragon. Because that's what they were saying, is that he was a dragon. But Armakara is pretty much a thing that can grant wishes. And it can pretty much appear however it wants. So, I guess that would be a way of something I would say. It would be, what about Worm God? That would probably be something I would probably put down. That's like maybe a worm god that we had to fight. Even though we kind of fight one, like that, let's say this is like the big Papa worm god, or that we had to fight a dragon, I guess. All right, I'm actually gonna switch characters so I can show you guys Titan, or whatever character I have that's up next. Don't worry, guys. We'll be getting to some PvP and Gambit and stuff like that in a little while. But I'm doing this as a favor to a friend of mine, because he was interested in playing this, but he's a little unsure about like what character he should play. He's a little bit unsure about some of the information about the game, so I'm kind of doing a slight tutorial on some of the characters. Warlock. So Warlock actually would be the next one. I think I'll do a little bit OP in my opinion on some cases. Because I've noticed, like, more than not there are. Oh, I never played the video.
Before you, the Red Legion had never been defeated in battle.
I'll let you guys watch this. I'll still be giving commentary throughout this video.
They have scoured the system.
Yeah, I think fighting a dragon would probably be a pretty good raid.
They found my failed experiment. The sundial prototype. It is a means to walk the corridor.
Although I'd probably never even play the raid, because I never actually get a chance to play raids anymore, because most of my friends are off doing something else, and it's hard to get everyone in the same party to do it. And I don't like doing it going on LFG, because there's probably some of the most hypersensitive people I've ever met on LFG. Is, hey, must have this, must have this, must have this, must have this. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. Hardest quest line you've completed. That's a hard one to think about. I would have to say, hardest quest line. I would have to say the Ace of Spades was probably the one that took me the longest to do. So I would have to say that one is probably the hardest quest line I've completed so far. Because Thorn's not all that hard. Since that one doesn't... It just takes time. Once you get to a certain point of it. Is... Not even the last word really was not even that hard for me. Like, the last part of it, like when I had to do the strike and shoot the gun out of the guy's hand constantly, that got a little irritating, but I think it was like I got it my 4th try. Oh, wait. No. I'm gonna have to change my answer. Not the Quace of Spades was the hardest. I would have to say the hardest quest so far, if I'm talking about current event, would be the time challenges, which would be Whisper of the Room and the Outbreak quest, because those are a little bit tricky because you have to do platforming and then you have to get there a certain amount of time so you can clear out ads and bosses and do enough damage. And if you don't have everyone on their stuff and actually have the right weapons to do the right amount of damage, it's going to take too long and you have to redo it again and again and again. So I would have to say those two were the hardest ones for me. Is the Whisper of the Room and Outbreak. The Outbreak quest were the 2 hardest ones in the game. It's very similar to when I did the Rat quest, I think it was called. All right. Yeah, Panda King, you got some good questions, bud. Making my brain work. All right, so Warlock. In some cases very similar to the Hunter, but in some cases not. As far as like armor goes, the Warlocks
Show me you can take ground.
Are slightly weaker. Wait, didn't I put Mayhem on? I could have sworn I put Mayhem on. Hang on. Momentum control. I thought I put Mayhem Clash. Okay. We'll launch in just a second, guys. Worst designed questline? Alright, I'm gonna need my menu up for this. Worst designed questline. Worst designed. Let me think about this. Oh, I got it. The worst designed. Oh, quest line. You're talking about quest line. I was going to say worst exotic. I would have to say it's not so like it was it's bad. It was badly designed. It's just it's very dependent on like, if you want this gun. If you're a completionist, you're gonna have to get into a raid. The Legend of Accuracy is a very powerful weapon, but a lot of the steps you have to do for it, like you could do most of it in solo play, some of it for solo play, but you're gonna have to do the raid a couple times to get this gun, and that really limits it. Because let's say you're having trouble getting into a raid, like I just said, some of the people in LFG are some of the most hypersensitive people I've ever seen. Like I shouldn't say seen, but have read. I've read their posts like you must have this emblem, you must have this weapon, you must have this, you must have this, you must be able to do this. And when you're looking at someone who's probably never done this before, it's very intimidating. And to me, it's not intimidating so much as I know what the people are going to be like when I see that. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. No worries. So when you have raid weapons like the Legend of Arceus, which is a quest does have a quest to it, and you have to do the raid, it does limit people because who probably really want to get this gun, but they can't get into a raid. Aside from that, I don't think there's really any other quests I've actually done that I would consider bad or badly designed. Or I could say, the Wish Ender Bow, you have to wait for the throne to be available, but that's not really like a bad quest. I would have to stick with my original answer, which would be Legend of Accuracy. Would probably be the I wouldn't say like the worst design, but it has some flaws to it because I know that they wanted weapons to be able to be done in the raid, but like I said, it limits people when you can't do the raid because of finding a right group that will teach you the raid and get you through it. It's very hard. At least that's my opinion. That would be my opinion for the worst designed quest line. Alright, so let's get going on the Warlock. Favorite planet location. That is... I would have to say my favorite planet location is probably Titan. because I like the way the textures work and on Titan. Like you can look down at the, I don't know what kind of ocean it is, but I like the colors. I like the way it moves. I like the way you can see like electricity skip over the water. And it definitely seems like there's more history there. Like you could definitely explore more, but it was limited. But I definitely still like going on Titan.
Ahab, how will you fare against utter chaos?
1 second, guys. Alright, so let me get to the nitty-gritty of Warlocks. Warlocks are going to have a slightly, I wouldn't say major increase from Hunter's shields, but they will have a slighter, shields. More shields. And not to mention they have overshields, like which Titans. What's my favorite game mode? Like, as you're talking about PvP, I don't really have a favorite game mode as far as PvP goes, but I have to say anything, I kind of like Control. If you're talking about like which of the 3 game modes, like Strike, Gambit, and PvP, I'd have to say Gambit is one of my. Oh, thank you, Panda King, for the subscribing, bud. Welcome to the Wookiee Warriors. If you're talking, but back to what I was saying. The Gambit I really like. I like the design they chose for it. Gambit, same. How it's both PvP and PvE. Where it's not so much about like getting the kills as about making sure, like, see, way me and my team we're always practically winning because we have a very good strat, and we don't go for the big moats. We always go 5. Like very rarely will we like. Some of us will have 10 or 15, and we'll drop it, or dispose of them, or deposit them. Sorry, but we just keep on going 5 because the more you keep putting those modes in, the more they have to. Yeah, smart. The more, even if it's just a 5. Can you imagine? So you have 5. I think the mode is like what, 4v4. So you have 4 people delivering modes consistently, and you're just swarming people with those small blockers to the point where they can't really keep up, and they're going to be risking too much. Now, and not to mention, if one of you guys dies with 5 motes, that's 5 motes. It's not going to really hurt your team. And this strat, like I said, me and my friends, when we play, that's our strat. We don't really differ from it. And we know someone has 10 motes, and all of us have already turned ours in. We kind of play goalie, like we will be defending him. He will be on one side of the map that is cleared and an easy place to we know when someone invades us. He stays in one corner while all of us are right there. They have to get through us to get to him. If, like I say, he has 10 or 15 motes, we make sure that he can't die. Then the invader usually gets down. We have one person usually. So it's usually like three of us there. One person's kind of scouting, looking for the invader. And if he comes over to us, well, you have 2 people with supers ready to go at that point. And I've noticed like a lot of people try like instantly burn their supers, or they'll constantly use their gate when we're fighting our primeval, and that's not the best strat. Don't use your gates. Wait for the gate, because at that point, like when you start burning them in right away, you're wasting it. Because let's say you have, like we have our primeval, and you only have 10 motes total. Well, that would be your opportunity to go and get motes, not even burning it. Because you know what we're doing? We're burning our witches.
3 minutes. It's
We
close.
don't care that you come in and kill us. You're not really doing anything in this scenario. You're just wasting time when you could have been over there helping your teammate get their primeval. Now, though, like when you wanted to invade, I would wait till like we're almost to the point where we're starting to burn them. That's when you want to start using those gates. Go in there at that point, because at that point we don't want to die, because we want to beat them. And we're going to be focusing so much on the boss that it's going to be easy to pick us off. Okay. So, Warlocks, just like the Hunter, have 3 classes. We have Void, Arc, and Solar. I'm going to go over the Void since we just already have that equipped. Oh, I don't even have the 3rd class unlocked. Nova requires the Shadow Keep Forsaken. So I can't even show you guys the 3rd ability till I get to my Xbox. Which I actually might just go ahead and do probably later today. Go ahead and get this taken care of so I can show you guys what it is. But essentially, Warlocks have... Oh, sorry. Very much the same abilities as a... very different in terms of grenades, because they can put like axiom bolts like this, I think, which will have a, kind of like a seeker swarm to them. A little bit OP in my opinion.
1 minute. Time to prove yourself.
I haven't played my Warlock in so long. Okay, so we actually Warlocks can actually create rifts, which can create you have healing rifts and then attack rifts, which will attack buff all people inside the rift. Healing rifts will obviously give you, if you're already healed, it'll give you an overshield. Not the best thing to do in PvP, because in PvP it's gonna kill you more than it's actually gonna help you. Because you're having to sit there, and even though you're like, you probably do a panic one where you're like, okay, I'm almost dead. It's gonna be so easy for somebody to come over and go, da 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 da, done. So in my opinion, unless you're like absolutely sure you're by yourself, then go ahead and pop your rip, but do not. I'll re-engage it, guys. Don't worry. But do not, as my opinion, do not panic. Rift them. Oh, crap. Hang on.
To show the Crucible what your light can do. I make sure new Guardians see all your feeds. Destroy them with your light. "5 minutes. Could go your way. Could go theirs." minutes. You're evenly matched. One minute. Time to prove yourself. Seconds. It's not over. It's all or nothing.
crap. I had my mic muted the whole time. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Arian. I'm sorry I muted my mic towards the last part of it. I am such a goober.
Mayhem simulates open war.
Alright, so Titans are going to be your, like I said, your tankier classes. Right now I actually have Striker on, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that. You actually, the nice thing about Titans, you actually get 2 grenades. So, very OP. You also get, Solar Charge. Especially when you're, kind of flying up the air. Also, you get what's called a barricade. Now, you can create one like this, or you can create one kind of like a smaller one. I'm really sorry, guys, that I forgot to turn my mic back on. I'm always forgetting. I'll show you guys the smaller barricades in just a moment. So here's the super. You get what's called Fist of Havoc. Which you can go basically infinite shoulder charges. That's pretty much it for Fist of Havoc. Nothing really changes with Fist of Havoc. Rally Battlecade is the one you get to do in smaller. So you could actually have some cover and fire. See? Now these barricades actually can be destroyed, or after a certain amount of time they will disappear. The next one we have is Sentinel, which is another one that's actually pretty well used. Basically a skip grenade. You do get a shoulder charge with this one too, but it's more like a shield bash. Sorry. I can't believe I was talking this whole time. I didn't even think I had my mic on. I'm so sorry, guys. I hate being sick. Very much similar. You have shield barricade, shield rally, shield. Now, the cool thing is you can actually get a shield with this one. So here's your super. You actually can toss it like Captain America. That's actually considered, or a lot of people refer to it as the Captain America shield. See? Captain America is super. And just like a normal shield, you can actually use it as a protective shield. See? And I think with the newer ability, you actually can create your own dome. Kind of like very similar to how it was in D1. Let me see if it's actually a... defensive strike. Well, that's it for the Void.
5 minutes. Could go your way.
We already did Striker, so let's go with Solar. Solar is very similar, very nice one. It has a little bit of an OP take to it, but it's still pretty good. You get skip, just like the other ones, you get a nice skipper grenade. Kind of wish, like, depending on your class, you actually get to create different color shields, but that's neither here nor there. So the super is actually pretty cool. You get what's called hammers. And then you can see that when you strike it down, it actually leaves a fire which does do damage to opposing guardians or enemies. Now you do get a very similar in regards to a strike. See? It's just more like a hammer. See? And you get a nice little explosion with this one versus the fire tornado. And I think that's about it. Titan, like I said, Titans are going to be your typical tanky character. They're going to be able to absorb more damage.
3 minutes. It's close.
Than your other characters can. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope this was able to help you guys out. Oh, Titans can actually get more like a boosted jump than a glide. So we're gonna go back to the hunter. Don't worry, I'm gonna be working on all these characters at some point. So I think like it's 990 or not 950 you get to be or something like that for before you max out your character. So that's the characters in its entirety. So it's really more, I would say, experiment. Like, if you have to start the first part of the campaign over again and over again until you get a feel for your character, I'd say do it. That way you know what character you want to start out with. But I hope the first portion of this stream helps anybody who watches this and says, hey, I'll do the hunter, hey, I'll do titan, hey, I'll do warlock, or hey, I still don't know, let me see how you play. Sorry guys, this cold I'm fighting, it really is kicking my butt. So, since I have things to do in the tower, let's go ahead and see what we gotta do. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Also, guys, if you guys ever need help, I mean, like looking for someone to help you out on Destiny, I'm more than happy to help you guys out. If you guys are stuck on a particular quest line, or if you guys are stuck on a strike or a mission, doesn't matter. I always try to help you guys out. I'm not a professional, but I do like helping people out as much as possible. Like, let's say you're trying to get Whisper of the Room. I'm not the best at that, but if we have a good enough team, if I can get a team together, we'll definitely help you get that gun. Or if you want Outbreak Prime, I'll definitely try to get that help you guys get that gun. If you guys need someone to help you run forges, I will help you run forges, strikes, forges, strikes, story missions. I'll even play Gambit with you guys. I'll even play some PvP with you guys. Just shoot me a message in Discord. Shoot me a message in the chat, or I have Discord, or I also have Twitter. So if you guys message me there, I will respond. I will reply to your message.
Eververse has the goods.
Let's check. You must have messages.
And I don't know why it's telling me that I need to be here when I really don't. Let's go ahead and do a Gambit match, guys. I don't really do Gambit Prime. It's a little bit more into... I haven't gotten used to it yet. But you guys have probably not even seen me doing my strat because that I was talking about. Because when I play Gambit, I usually play like however everyone else is playing, or I really don't collect. I just kill enemies so everyone else can collect and they can survive. That way it's less congested. I'm hungry. Well, I better get ready. No, I'm gonna just play with more on my last forever though. Well, probably. Oh, if the game will overload. There we go.
All right, Mavericks. Ready to see what you're fighting today? Fallen on the horizon.
No, my favorite enemy.
Time for a gunfight. The Fallen changed things for us. Made Titans famous. Go pay them back. Transmat firing. Kill the hostiles. Grab the moats. Drop them in the bank. Hostiles at the trees. Sending small blocker. Hostiles inbound at the beach.
Oh, I probably should switch to Blade Barrage. I forgot about that. I'll switch after this.
Incoming wave at the ruins. Sending small blocker. Portals up.
I need to change my class though. Probably won't have my super ready, but no problem. Shielder. See, those guys are doing my strat. These guys are holding on to their moats, going for the big ones, which is why I'm trying. That's why I tell you guys to go only 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 instead of going for the big blockers.
This is what the Taken feel. Revel in this. They gotcha. I'm bringing you back. Portals up. Go look them in the eyes. Invaders off the field. Inbound at the beach. Embrace the darkness. Take out those guardians. Fight's over. Opposing team killed their prime minister. Opposing team, that's the way to do it. Everyone else, pick it up. Transmat ready. Back to action. Hostiles have called reinforcements. Incoming wave at the ruins. Hostiles inbound at the beach. Small blocker outbound. value target is on the field. Hunt it down. Put some rounds in it. Hostiles at the trees. Keep your enemy busy. Let's see more moats. Portals prime. Go make a mess. High value target destroyed. You're being invaded. Find them before they find you.
Again, 4 moats. Don't care.
Invaders off the field. This is what the Taken mean. Revel in this. That's one. You just robbed that Guardian blind. 2 for 1. Portals up.
I'm out of heavy ammo. I'm not gonna go back there.
Hostiles at the trees. You're being invaded. Find them before they find you. Opposing team summoned the primeval. If they kill it, they win this. Invaders gone. Get them next time. Your allies invading.
Ways of an invasion.
Almost. Bank and get that primeval out there. Ally is down. Pulling them back. All right. You can still win this. Burn that primeval.
Another thing is that you guys want to make sure you guys are listening to the voice when it says you got enough to pop primeval.
Portals up. Envoy's dead. Kill the primeval. Round's over. Your opponent took the primeval down.
It was a okay match.
All right, Mavericks. Ready to see what you're fighting today?
Sorry,
Score
guys, I'm
approaching.
almost dying right now.
It's time to bang knuckles. Never trust a scorn. They're little balls of instinct. Shoot first, talk to it later. Transmat ready. Lock and load, hotshot. Get those motes to the bank. Hostiles incoming at the garden.
No, I'm just gonna play with my... Just have some fun. I hate Scorn.
Small blocker outbound. Incoming on the island. You just dropped a Taken on the other side. Hope you're proud. I am. Portal is prime. Lock. Your allies invading the other side. Your invaders down. They nabbed a kid. Incoming at the caves.
Damn, I hate Scorn. I'm doing bad on this round.
Portal is prime. Lock. Your allies invading. you? You're being invaded. Find them before they find you. You're close. Fill the bank, you get a primeval. Hostiles incoming at the garden. Your ally neutralized the invader. Primeval's up. Kill it to win. Back. Invader incoming.
Really? He's still here? I thought he left.
Out. You'll get him next time.
So we haven't even started doing damage. He wasted his portal.
You're being invaded. Find them before they find you. Invader down. Your ally's a hero. Primeval's dead. Nice.
Nice, guys, nice.
Your teams hit their stride. Opposing team's awful. Just kidding. Transmat primed. No slacking, brother. Hostiles brought their big guns. Incoming on the island. Incoming at the caves. Medium blocker on its way to the other side. I like your style. blocker to the other side. Portal's ready. Grab your gun. Your allies invading the other side. Hostiles incoming at the garden. Your allies back. One kill. Sending small blocker. Allies headed to the other side. You just dropped a taken on the other side. Hope you're proud. I am. Your allies down, but they managed to kill. Bank and you'll summon a primeval. You want to win? That's how. Incoming at the caves. Primeval's up. Burn the envoys first. Brace yourself. Portal's up. Go take him out.
Oh, fuck.
Boys eliminated. Focus on the primeval. Invader down. You're clear.
That sucked.
Allies headed to the other side. You've lost the lead. Burn that primeval down. You're ahead. Go make a mess. You've lost the lead. Burn that primeval down. Invaders out. You'll get them next time. Allies headed to the other side. Invader down. Your allies a hero. 1 minute. Allies headed to the other side. You're in the lead. 30 seconds to go.
Well, that was a good match.
What a haul! I promise you, I'll do something special with all these moves. Something that'll make you shiver.
Ooh, 55 was lost. Well, guys, I'm not gonna normally probably end the streams this early, but I'm not feeling good. Like, my stomach is all sorts of with me right now. So, so in future future Saturdays, we will be probably going a lot longer than 2 hours. So I'm thinking probably next Saturday, we'll be doing, I'm feeling like we'll probably do Monster Hunter. We'll see. But this is a special that's going to be going on all week, every Saturday. And we're just going to be stretching out video games. Well, everyone, it's at that time. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Please don't forget to leave a like and and hit that subscribe button for more Wookiee content. Also, hit that bell to stay up to date. And stay strong, all you Wookiee warriors out there. And I'll see you guys on the next adventure. Good night, all. And I'll see you. Bye. Good night. Catch you all later. Bye.